Driving with you. Let me take you far from here. Driving with you. The whole world disappears. Driving with you. Let me take you far from here. Driving with you. The whole world disappears, disappears, disappears. The morning lights up, crystal clear water, blue skies. Just you and me, the open road, and light beams fly by. Driving for 1,000 miles, there's nowhere else I wanna be. Here with you, and you with me. Driving with you. Let me take you far from here. Driving with you. The whole world disappears. Driving with you. Let me take you far from here. Driving with you. The whole world disappears, disappears, disappears. Driving with you. Let me take you far from here. Driving with you. The whole world disappears. Driving with you. Let me take you far from here. Driving with you. The whole world disappears, disappears, disappears.
You're a bit crooked. Let's whoa, look at the zoom in. See that? How did that happen? Oh, it's because I pressed this. Can I? Oh my goodness, how do I? What have I done? What have I done? How's it going, everyone? There we go. That's one thing. What was I pressing there? There we go. Diddy. This is why you shouldn't change stuff like at the start of the show, because then things go horribly wrong like this. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Myles Dyer Live. I'm Myles Dyer, and today we still need the shot changing. I think this is it. Look at that. That's much better, right? Welcome to Myles Dyer Live, where every week you watch me mess around with tech. I clearly have no idea what I'm doing with. And we chill for an hour, talking about all sorts, from the fun to the serious. Last week, we talked about taking time out. I had my first week off in over a year. I very much enjoyed it. And then the conversation went in all sorts of directions. It was good, though. I really, really enjoyed it last week. Really, really good. And then this week, it was a topic I had in my back pocket for a while, and I discussed a while ago about a short film I saw in like 2007, and it was called Lost Memories. It's like a 2-minute short film, French short film, and it was really great. I'm not going to speak more about it because I'm just going to show you it in a moment. And I thought, okay, this would be a cool topic to talk about because there is so much going on in the world at the moment. I think of all the technology, all the conversations, all the news, just the inundation of noise and signals. There's a lot of good stuff out there. And especially having spent a week in rural France. Now, I wasn't completely disconnected. I was still using the internet, playing on some VR. I was playing Pokemon Go. Gotta love it. I was holding it the wrong way there. Pokemon Go. There we go, people. Gotta catch them all. And texting, friends and that while I was out there. So I wasn't completely disconnected. But it did make me reflect on, zoning out the noise. And so today I thought we would talk about if you woke up tomorrow and the internet was just gone, what would the impact be on your life? And I'm not talking in a sort of a spiritual sense. I mean, that is part of it and we will talk about it. But I mean, like, fundamentally, how would your life change? How would it operate? I'm going to be thinking about, like, well, my job is going to dissipate because I'm a completely remote job. What about us? Does this mean we would just, if the internet vanished tomorrow, does this mean we would never see each other and talk again? So, there's going to be some positives as well, hopefully. Some of you might think that was positive. Oh, no more Myles Dyer Live on my feed. I can be free from the tyranny of internet shows like this. But yeah, firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you once again to Smash Fuller, who just became a member. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate you very, very much. And I just want to say hello to everyone in the live chat. By the way, I did fix the issue last week because we had the countdown last week and then it went straight to this. And it's because I didn't have... So I fixed this button. So I fixed that and then I almost broke my camera stuff. I mean, this camera's still a bit crooked, I think. I need to tilt it, but I'm not doing it now. I'm not risking breaking things anymore. Chris says, and hello, Chris, what colour are your eyes? If only there was a song. If there was only a song at the end of the show that could summarise what colour my eyes are. My eyes are blue/green, and it all depends on the mood that I'm in. So yeah. Harla, good to see you here. I don't know if I'm allowed to out Harla in the chat at the moment. Harla is a good colleague of mine who is a fucking awesome human being. Always brings sunshine. It's good to have you here, and you don't have any meetings. And funnily enough, I have a task that I need to do for Harla. So if the show ends early, blame Harla. There, you got her username there. You can spam her YouTube or what have you. No, be very nice to Harla. Good to see you here. I want to say hello to Canuck Tunes. We got hello, Smash Fuller, obviously. We've got Agramonia. Hello. We got Mojo. We got Dominic with the ice cream. Always with the ice cream. And Ocean Eyes. I knew it. Kira Cat Lady. Hello. How you doing? And we got Headbite. And for everyone else that's watching right now and not typing, I know you're out there. I love you very, very much. I hope everyone's had a good week. Here in the UK, it has been so hot. And, I mean, it was pretty hot when we were doing this last time. But after the show, the Thursday and the Friday, we were in a heat dome. And it was only when I was on Slack at work that someone else in the UK had just posted 30 degrees today, this heat is unbearable, though. And as soon as I read it, I just instantly became aware of my surroundings. And Jesus Christ, I was not very happy for days. The weekend was fine. It was still hot. I got the aircon unit out, you know, the pipe out the window, all that sort of stuff. The UK, we're just not prepared. We're not just prepared. Like, if it's cold and snowy, trains get delayed and everything shuts down. If it gets hot and sunny, trains get delayed. Like, we have they say, like, the tracks buckle, like the metal tracks, train tracks, like, bend because of the heat. And because so we have this fluctuation, you know, if you have a pretty stable climate, whether it's cold or hot, you can build a society around that. But if you have one that's fluctuating, then that's very difficult to deal with. And here in the UK, I've mentioned this before, but 2 things on my wish list. Aircon being standard. And secondly, and I could go on Amazon and get some of the stuff. But in America, when you have the windows open, they have the nets on the window to stop bugs getting in. We don't have that. So whenever I'm opening the windows at night, I'm looking in the corners, making sure there's no massive spiders ready to come in, because they get in. They do, especially if it's been raining. But we did have some rain on Monday morning. I was so grateful for that, and it was really, really good. Hey, Salvador. Welcome. Hey, Chaos. Put one of those kiddie pools filled with ice in your house. I wouldn't put one of them in my house. Put it in the garden, although I can't really get in the garden at the moment. It is a forest out there, a jungle. It's a jungle. I need to cut it back. Although I'm always a bit worried about that. I've got to give the birds enough time for nesting, because I was cutting back the bushes a few years ago, and then I saw on the floor a little baby bird. It was so cute. I was close to tears. It was the most adorable thing ever. And I was like, oh my God, please find your mummy. Please find your mummy. And the baby bird did. So I was very relieved. But it was like the cutest thing ever. But yeah, the problem with my home, it sounds like I'm listing all these problems for my home. I very much love where I live. But my garden, the only way you can access it is through the house. So if I want to clear everything out, it has to go through the living room, through the hallway. Yes, you can put stuff down the floor, but then you might scratch the walls, and because it gets quite narrow. First world problems, right? First world problems. Anyway, I am going to put on some of the background music that we introduced last week. Let's go with Breathe Easy. This stuff. Oh. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Chris says, in Oz and New Zealand, you have to fumigate for insects and arachnids. Yeah, that's wild. I actually bought some bananas tonight in the supermarket, and I always remember reading those stories, because like these bananas are from the Dominican Republic, and you hear stories about people that get some bananas and there's a banana spider in there, and then they have to get their home fumigated. I actually knew someone at secondary school. I'm not going to out him because there was legal things around this, but he bought some grapes at a well-known supermarket. He brought the grapes home, because that's what you do when you buy them at the supermarket, you bring them home, and he sat on his bed, took the grapes out, and he says they were dark inside, and he was like looking closer, and then suddenly the grapes exploded and all these tiny spiders ran everywhere in the bedroom, and they had to get the house fumigated. And then I think he was offered like a year's worth of shopping if he kept it hush, which he did. Well, he told me, but I think that was after it. I mean, if that's the deal, right? You only have to be hushed for the period that you're getting the free shopping, because that's the negotiation I do. I'd like, keep giving me free shopping, and I won't say a thing. I won't say a thing. Game Cat Chicago says, where do you get all the energy to do your life? I saw an awesome social post about 6-7 years ago, and if anyone knows what I'm talking about as I describe this, and you can find it, because it often does the rounds, please do send it to me. It was that someone was asking, how do you find the time? Someone basically said, I'm struggling in life. I'm single, I live home alone, I have a job. How does everyone find the time to work out, cook, eat healthy, do housework, all this sort of stuff. And the response was, you're not supposed to be able to do all that. We live in a system where now you need 2 people making an income that you basically, society is built on the tradition that you have people, you know, starting families and that from an early age, and they're living together, and so they can split the roles. Like, you know, you'd have someone who would be earning the money, someone that's looking after the kids, whereas now you need both people earning money, looking after the kids as well. And I don't know, I'm not articulating it well, which is why I really want to find the post, but he basically just says that, you know, 21st century society is not built that way. We're like living in a hangover of all that sort of stuff. So yeah, single life is the best life. I mean, yeah, single life is great. I am 38 now, and I'm definitely thinking, I mean, I've throughout my entire life I have phases of existentialism. I don't feel like I'm running full speed like for a relationship, but I'm definitely like, it'd be nice to have one. And I go through all these cycles where I'll start going on dating scenes, and then I'll get very not disillusioned, but I just like, yeah, I mean, I tried it for a bit. I'm now going to work on myself, forget this. And a lot of the times I do use dating apps. Maybe we should do an episode on dating apps, because dating apps is an interesting thing. Like, dating apps are a pure numbers game, and I find it very dehumanizing, and obviously it's monetizing attention, like a lot of social media. It's an interesting one, really. But yeah, no, there are definitely benefits to being single. I think I did an episode on it on Myles Dyer Live like a year or 2 ago. But yeah, cool. What else? Well, on PSVR Without Parole, we are going to be debating the top 25 VR games, so I need to start playing some more VR. Hopefully live streaming some this week. I was going to start this week, but it's been another busy week. But I have to say, this past week, guys, like I'm working long hours again, but I feel so good at the moment. I feel in the zone, and it shows you, if you're high performing, rest and breaks are important. And Wednesdays in particular have become our, I mean, the intention was for it to be a no meeting day. It's not happening. It's a meeting less, as in less, not completely gone, day. And I thought, great, Wednesday mornings I can start doing my flotation tanks. Flotation Tank Centre is shut on a Wednesday. I might have to start a petition. I know him very well. I might just say, hey guys, can you have your day off on a Thursday? Just for me. Please, 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 please. Popsicle says, I bought Firmament, and even though it had negative reviews, and it's definitely a shimmering mess. Well, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Let's Plays. Yeah, I do have, I mean, one of the, I actually deleted the image. I had one of the Let's Play thumbnails for Maestro, you know, conducting, all that sort of stuff. That'd be great. But yeah. Miles, do you ever have a big emotional reaction after doing a float session? So when you say emotional, I've definitely been moved by it, and I've definitely had some pretty powerful float sessions. But like, I don't know if I've ever come out like tearful. I've definitely come out feeling reborn a couple of times, and I don't mean that spiritually. I mean, I literally feel completely refreshed. Like, oh my goodness, I feel like my cells have been cleansed. I don't know if I've spoken about this before, and I do want to get Michael actually from the Flotation Centre to come on. But I've had 2 or 3 times where I've started having out-of-body experiences, but I've always resisted them. I mean, out-of-body experiences are when your ego is dying, which is why it felt terrifying. And the way I describe it is, I'm just lying there, and I kid you not, I feel like my consciousness just start pressing on my face, and I feel myself like lifting out, like coming above me. I feel like I'm coming out my body and floating up. And what I do in that moment is I like start panicking, and I like try and shake it off. And in that moment, I feel it sort of coming back into me, and I feel like my soul is back into me again. Really weird, guys. Honestly, it's so weird. I've been told, like, don't resist it. Like, let it happen. It's really powerful. But even after hearing it, when it happened again, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't resist it. Sorry, I mean, I couldn't let it go. I had to resist it. Look at all these topics we're talking about, except the ones that we were going to cover on the show. So everyone, today we're going to talk about what if the internet vanished tomorrow. Now, as I mentioned already, I dug up a short film. I don't care if this gets monetized because of it. This is by Francois Ferracci, called Lost Memories. And it is a CGI sci-fi short film. Okay? And let me just find out, actually, exactly when it came out. Lost Memories. I've noticed that Harla hasn't messaged again in the chat. I hope I didn't scare you off, Harla. I wasn't bullying you. Okay, so I've got it here. 2012? Yeah, okay. Oh, and they did a 2.0 one. Okay. Got 6.8 on IMDb. Okay, well, this is just a starter point. Dominic says, regarding the floats, I have had memories come up and been tearful, but good to get out. I had some trippy experiences too, like floating in space. You should try to lead into it. Yeah, it's easier said than done. Easier said than done. That's for sure. That is for sure. Cool. All right. Well, in that case, let's... Wow, and the background music had just come to the end. Perfect timing. So yeah, this is what I'm going to use to kick off the conversation, because I think about this a lot all these years later.
J'oublierai jamais ce jour-là. « 10 octobre 2020, 17h12. « 92e poste, 5000 vues. On était tellement bien. Tellement heureux. Mais... j'ai rien vu venir. J'ai perdu sa trace. On a perdu notre mémoire.
Un orage électromagnétique a anéanti l'intégralité des données numériques de la planète. Mails, photos, vidéos, données boursières, gouvernementales, administratives, web. Le chaos envahit la plupart des capitales. Des émeutes inimaginables se déroulent en ce moment même à New York, Pékin, New Delhi, Paris, Caire.
Et que te reste-t-il à toi dans cette ère digitale qui n'est plus?
J'ai perdu notre mémoire.
What do we think? What do we think? Yeah, for 2020, if only tech was like that. having screens in front of you. We're getting there. We're getting there. Clem Fandango says, she's only gone and summoned Madison. Only gone and summoned Madison. Ah. Love it so much. Moj says, this is why physically or printed photos are so vital for precious moments. Does anyone get physical photos printed out? Because my parents do it, and I actually kind of want to do it, is I want to clear through my computer and look for years, and then start collating photos and then ordering printouts of them. But obviously, photos don't last forever. Yeah, the camera is amazing. Mojo says, always do. Always do. Yeah, I need to do it. I do actually have a box downstairs of photos. I used to love taking photographs when I was a kid. Maybe I should dig it out. Maybe I should dig it out. Yeah, let's... Alright, I'm just writing these down as some video ideas. Boots have tech in their shops that let you print direct from your phone. I do it all the time. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I like you got the websites where you can like design the books, you know, how it's laid out and stuff, and get them printed. I like that a lot. It'd be great. And there's something nice about the physical touch, right, of flicking through pages. I think that's really great as well. Chris has had to get photos from my photography project scanned to put them online, but I never do it the other way anymore. I definitely don't. I'm trying to digitize all my old photos, so I know it will all go if the web pops, but then again, it will stay in my memory, won't it? Won't it? I got some I want to print out and frame for the wall, never done. I got a box of old ones too. Headbite says, I have a little gallery of real photos of my family. That's lovely. Yeah, there is, you know, my phone is just full of like multiple shots of the same thing. Like I do need to really have a clear up. So anyway, that was definitely a nice part of the short film. But with the broader question, I was wondering what would happen if you woke up tomorrow and the internet was gone? What part? I mean, I'm just curious to know how. Is there anyone here who thinks their life they would not, they'd be fine with that? Is there? It would be absolutely devastating, right? In every sense of it. I mean, I guess my first question to everyone here is, what part of your daily life would break first if you woke up tomorrow and the internet wasn't working? I mean, for me, it's the small things of like checking online. But in terms of the fundamentals, things would very quickly break for me because I work online. Like our company, Impact Reality, would disappear. It just would. Because we're a completely remote company. You could do phone calls. So I guess the question for me, actually, I'm gonna go through the answer to that, because my follow-up question is gonna be about phones, because there's always a great question of like, how many. Well, I guess you wouldn't have to worry about it because your phone would still work. But I always wonder about like how many people's phone numbers do you actually have? Popsicle says it's going to happen in the next World War. EMPs. Banking would be complicated. That's a great shout. Yep, banking. Yep. There would be a rush to the banks, right? But then when you got there, they're not going to be connected to the system. How did banks work prior to the internet? I always write down phone numbers and keep them safe somewhere. Do you know what I do actually? Is whenever I'm traveling abroad, I have a notebook with me, and on one of the pages, I will write my flight number, the airports I'm flying from and to. I write down physically the address I'm staying at. If I'm staying with a person, the person. I write down my policy number. Yeah, basically, I think a lot of people take it for granted. I always write down everything with the assumption of, if I lose my phone, do I have everything on me? So actually, I relate to that a lot. Online friends, obviously a big thing. Yeah, ledgers, right? I'm just going to search here. I'm just asking ChatGPT to lay out some real world scenarios of like how he would do it. Would be less delivery vans on the road. That is very true. I'm gonna ask my best mate his address in case it happens. That's the thing, yeah. Amazon would definitely be screwed. Yeah. People's thumbs would get some well-needed respite, and their eyes too. Yeah. So yeah, for me, fundamentally, straight away, my job would just cease to exist. So what would I actually do? I guess... I mean, I don't have a TV aerial. So I guess I would turn the radio on. So actually, yeah, the first thing I would do, I like this as a thought exercise. The first thing I would do is turn on my car and listen to the radio, because they would relay some like fail-safe options, right? What would you most miss from using the internet? For me, it would definitely be just like the instant access to videos and information. Is that sad that I say that above like communication? Like, of course, communication is important. I mean, to be honest, I probably would miss the communication a lot more. And would you develop any... Have you got any old school skills that you think would help straight away? Like map reading? Are you good at map reading? I remember the days when you were trying to find out where you needed to go. You had an A to Z. Sorry, A to Z. So you'd have to pull over at the side of the road, get the map out, have a look, check out where you need to go. All right, we got that. Put it away. And then I remember when the internet first came out, you had like AA, and you would print on paper the instructions, and it would tell you the directions. Man, that was wild. That'd be absolutely wild. You think a lot of people still use physical maps? I mean, I don't doubt that people do use them, but I don't think it's that many. Especially with like new generations where their starting point was never to use a map in the first place. I would definitely miss playing Pokemon Go for a day, and then I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot what it was like not to feel the need to pick this up and go catch digital pixels. So yeah, the first thing I would do is I'd leave my house, I'd get in the car, turn the radio on, And then I guess I would drive to my parents. I'd drive to my parents, drive to my brother, check and make sure they're all right. And then maybe go to the supermarket. But then how would I pay for things? That wouldn't work well. You'd loot. Woo, chaos. I mean, I think there would be a lot of chaos and looting. I mean, people would kind of feel invulnerable, I guess. So here's a few scenarios, okay? Here's a few scenarios. So let's start with banking and money, because we spoke about this, right? So with banking and money, online banking would stop instantly. Because there's no mobile apps, no PayPal, no contactless payments. Contactless payments is gone. ATMs may still work short term via internal networks, but account syncing would freeze. And of course, when it comes to credit or debit card transactions, they would fail if they required internet validation. So think of all the validation, the security protocols that are there. So, I guess the return of checks could be a thing. Checks could be a thing. Cash-based economy, so cash would come back. So local banks would probably scramble to distribute physical currency. Maybe IOUs and a barter system might emerge. And I think straight away, maybe local businesses might run on trust or ledgers, some kind of short-term thing. But yeah, checks would definitely come back. So yeah, that's okay. How about losing contact with people? So you can't message friends, colleagues, family, unless you have their phone numbers written down. I mean, you could have it on your phone locally. I think that still counts. All your cloud storage is gone. All cloud storage. Now, interestingly, on my phone, I don't know what on my phone is in cloud and what is locally stored. So I would very soon find out. And there's no quick way to look up numbers or addresses or just information overall. So landlines would be useful again. I don't have a landline in my house, so I would need to get a landline sorted. But how would I do that if I don't have a landline? I'd have to drive. I don't know. I don't even know how I'd get a landline set up. Yeah, how would I'd be screwed, right? You couldn't use a cell phone. Does a cell phone only... No, it doesn't use internet. Like 5G is... That is internet, isn't it? And yeah, let's not get into that now, but it is true. It is true. Money is essentially an IOU. And for those that don't know, it is expressed on... I mean, I do have some coverage here. It says here, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £20. There we go. Tins connected with string. Yep. Imagine the scammers in a post-internet horoscope. Oh my god. Yeah. We're internet boomers still compared to kids that get addicted to AI tools. Ask them same question in 5 years. Yeah. So, landlines become valuable again. Community bulletin boards. We have one actually up the street. Local radio, even newspaper ads make a comeback. Word of mouth and physical networks are rebuilt. And you might post physical letters to mutual contacts asking them to reconnect. So if you got addresses, you could... And actually, I do have the address of one of my bosses. So it's all the 6 degrees of separation, right? We'd have to start networking. What about work and business? So remote workers lose all access to tools, Slack, Zoom, Google Drive. Emails stop. So global businesses pause. Logistics, deliveries, cloud-based services are all disrupted. So the workarounds are emergency phone trees and local team meetings return. Businesses resort to paper filing systems, fax machines, physical mail, and internal systems like intranet-style closed networks, if they exist. Now, the only thing I would say is, I remember during the, I think it was the Turkish Revolution, I think Vodafone were the internet providers, and the government threatened them to switch off the internet, and Vodafone were like, we're not. So the government, and was it the Turkish government? I want to make sure I get this right. No, it was in Egypt. It was in the Egyptian Revolution, 2011, during the Arab Spring. So Vodafone... This is like an interesting thing, right? So Vodafone were asked by the government, we want you to turn off all the internet because protesters are using it to unify and get in contact. And Vodafone said no. So the government said, okay, we're going to go around and trash all the, not the servers, but like the transmitters. And so Vodafone were like, no, don't do that. We'll turn it off. And so Vodafone turned off the internet. Now, it's very easy to go, Vodafone, what scumbags? But the reason Vodafone did it was because if the government went round and trashed all the infrastructure, to turn it back on again would take a huge amount of energy and effort to do. It would take time. But if Vodafone turned it off themselves, it meant that the moment they were able to turn it back on, that they could do it like instantly. And so that's what happened there. But the reason I bring this up was I remember there were devices that were made where you basically plugged them sockets into the wall, and it would triangulate, and it would create basically a dark web, second internet that activists were able to use across the country, disconnected from the internet. So maybe that would start as well. Information access. So what's happened? Google's gone. No Wikipedia. No YouTube tutorials. No Myles Dyer Live. Poor you. I can't even imagine how distressing that would be. No Myles Dyer Live. Younger generations may feel paralysed without answers on demand. And academic research and journalism grinds to a halt. But the workarounds would be libraries regain importance, encyclopedias, textbooks, manuals become valuable. Experts become local heroes. People go to that one person who knows how to fix a boiler. And public workshops and skill sharing events increase. Underground Stranger Game Cat says, today, I started to rewatch Mr. Robot. Themes are so similar to what we're loving today. Now you're talking about losing internet, dark web. Feels crazy. Oh, there you go. That's it. Needing blenders. No Myles Dyer Live. No. No Rickroll. No Rickrolling. Next up, shopping and deliveries. Okay, so what would happen? Online shopping ends. Amazon, Uber Eats, eBay, gone. Supply chains suffer without online logistics. But the workarounds are local shops thrive, farmers markets boom. Catalogues and call-in orders resurface. And people drive to suppliers, rediscovering bulk buying. And there's going to be a lot of bulk buying when people think the end of the world is here. Let's do a few more. Entertainment and media. So what happens? No Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. Online gaming dies. Oh my god. Of course, online gaming dies. No social media and no memes. No memes, no memes. So physical media becomes precious. DVDs. I do have DVDs. I don't know if I have a DVD player though. Actually, I do have a PlayStation 3 still, I think. Books. Board games. Local cinema and theatres flourish again, although I don't know how their infrastructure would work. And home movie nights and music sharing reappear. How about travel and navigation? No GPS, no Google Maps. You can't book hotels or flights online. No weather apps or travel alerts. My goodness. Do you know what that reminds me of? 2 weekends ago, I went into London, and as I was about to get to the station, I walked towards... I'm going to load this up on here. I was walking towards Paddington Station, and I kid you not, I saw a wall of rain come towards me. And it was absolutely, going to sound really British here, absolutely hammering. Hammering it was. This is what it looked like. And the reason I bring this up was I managed to get under on a step underneath. But it was so heavy. Bless them over there. It just came out of nowhere. And you can see the clear sky. And it's like, when's it going to come? Why am I bringing this up? Why am I showing some rain? Because on my phone, I had the weather app. And it says the rain is going to end in 13 minutes. And in 13 minutes, like 2 minutes. And I was shouting to them across the road. I was like, there's only 2 minutes to go. And literally, I mean, to be honest, when it said 30 minutes to 2 minutes, I wasn't checking with the time. It might have been that, like, it was 5 minutes later, and then it's like, oh, it's actually only 7 minutes when, you know, it keeps adjusting. So it looks like it's to the minute. But the point was, it was pretty damn close. Like, remarkable that you can have that on your phone. So, yeah, that was just something I was thinking about when we were talking about that. So physical maps and atlases become essential. Travel agents and tourism offices resurface. And you ask locals for directions. How about that? How about that? Okay, 2 more. Well, 1 more, and then we're going to do an overall thing. Healthcare. What happens with healthcare? So hospital systems reliant on internet may stall. Appointment systems absolutely collapse, and cloud-based patient records are inaccessible. So the workarounds are paper records are reintroduced, local clinics rely on word of mouth and in-person visits, and community care becomes more intimate but also strained. So finally, what are the big picture ripple effects of the internet vanishing? And I'm going to bring up on screen here to have a look at here. So, big picture ripple effects. Firstly, misinformation drops. No more viral lies. But so does truth dissemination. I'd have been able to say that. It was only when I was trying to read it. So yeah, getting the truth out there. So I think lies in different ways, like localized lying, would probably go on the rise. Next is, and this is a good one, surveillance ends. But so does digital evidence in legal cases. Mental health might improve for some. Less FOMO, fear of missing out. Doom scrolling is gone. But it might also worsen for others because of disconnection and boredom. And finally, jobs. Jobs in tech. Vanish. They vanish overnight. Mass unemployment in digital sectors. Talking to people in real life. Ew. Yuck. But then you can't fact check things with the internet. There we go. This is a local town for local people. We'll have no trouble here. That's the thing is, like, I'll be speaking a lot more to my neighbours. And yeah, propaganda was strong before the internet. Absolutely. It's just manifested in different ways. AI dies without the internet? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But the internet vanishes for a day, and then it comes back the day after. Oh, what a relief. What a relief. But honestly, what's everyone's final thoughts? Give me, everyone just type one comment, and in your comment, just tell me the thing that you would hate most about the internet vanishing, and the thing that you would love most. So for me, hating would probably be disconnecting from people around the world. For me, variety is the spice of life. I love talking to people from all walks of life, hearing about their backgrounds, their experiences. I am a YouTube child, not baby. YouTube came along when I was 18. And I'm a big believer in the quest for global empathy, which is only possible because of the internet. It really is. So that would be the thing I hate most. The thing that I would love most about it is I would become a lot more present and in the moment in life, because I wouldn't be connected to an infinity machine. I would be more thinking about the now. Like, what can I be doing now? Because everything has to happen now. There's no notifications or reminders. I mean, there might be in some tech, but that's something that definitely comes to mind. Let's read some of your final thoughts with this. I can't believe we're coming to the top of the hour now. Callie says, I can imagine that flip in transfer of mental health difficulties. It'd be like the COVID lockdown, but magnified. Yeah, that's a great point. Internet, we're kind of fine for a few days, but cut away electricity and we're back in the Middle Age, yeah. Mojo says, for one day, it would be a shock, but long term, I'd love the time away from the screen. But since I don't have a lot of online friends, numbers, I'd miss talking to them. Callie says, I would definitely miss all the people I know online. So I think it is about connection. I mean, this is what the internet is. It would affect my mental health in that respect. Yeah, I think it would affect mine as well. I always thought about this in terms of like online influencers or anything. Like if you're an online celebrity, because these days you can have millions of followers and you're not like a world celebrity. Like you're big in your niche. And it's like, but then what do you do? Like you literally go outside your house and like all your value, and this is not entirely fair because your value is in the skills and the experiences that you had, but in terms of like your value proposition, in terms of the content you do online and things like that, that all dissipates. That would be pretty wild. Dominic says, hate missing entertainment. YouTube streaming sites. Love the idea of peace, of quiet. Nice. People would talk to each other. Yeah. It'd be pretty wild. Callie says, the positive, the extra present moment awareness is something I can do some of the time anyway. You can turn off all your cellular devices unless your boss will sack you. Well, I think this, for me, this is the biggest takeaway, is when it comes to like the positives for you personally. Obviously, the positives for society as a whole, you know, that would happen with the internet vanishing. But in terms of what the positives could be for you personally with the internet vanishing, these are things that you can work on now with the internet here. So for me, thinking about disconnecting, be more in the moment, the reality is that things can happen. What up, GT? By the way, great video of your top VR games of 2025. It was so happy to see V-Racer on there. Dude, I've played so much V-Racer. When I had my week off work, I played nothing but it. And it was nice playing it, not for work, but actually for enjoying it. And we do need to have a race because I need to have my ass kicked because I know that you're unbeatable. Unbeatable, dude. But yeah, no, this is it, GT. This is exactly what we're talking about. Is if the internet disappeared tomorrow, we were talking about like what would be the instant consequences and what would you do? And for me, I wouldn't have a job. You wouldn't have a job. And then I'm like, how would I contact people. Like, I have an address. I'd send a letter. Maybe my phone would work, but I don't have a landline. But the first thing I would do is I would go out to my car and turn on the radio to hear in and get any information. You think you're almost unbeatable at V-Racer. See, I'm not even going to challenge you to that. I mean, I definitely want to race and have fun, but like, yeah, I need to get better with my turning. But yeah, V-Racer is really, really good fun. And I can't wait for it to come to PSVR 2. You'd be forced to get a job in the palladium mines. I'm actually thinking what would be my most likely job. Because yeah, like when I started working in jobs, the internet was out. My first job when I was 16 was selling carpets and floor coverings for John Lewis department store. We took checks. That was how the money was done in that. So, God, yeah, getting checks was absolutely old school. I was like, oh, not another check. Got to get the check to clear. Yep. Cool. Any final thoughts from anyone before we wrap this up for today and go to some vitamin G? But this was a cool topic. Like, as I said, the short movie had always come to my mind. I'd seen it many, many years ago. I've had it downloaded on my computer since. Gamertag says probably modelling and making pizza. What kind of modelling? I do think it is the hands-on. Dude, I just had a flashback when I was a kid. My dad had a little, like, miniature steam engine. Oh, dude, I literally have not thought about that for like 30 years. I literally just had a flashback then. We had a little steam engine in the garage. I need to ask my dad about that. And I loved it as a kid because we had, like, the fuel, I guess, that you put in. And I remember it had a very distinct smell. And we just go in the garage. We'd put the fuel in and then light it. And then it would go very, very slowly, but steam came out. And I wonder if my dad still got that in the garage. That's a wonderful memory you spot there. But yeah, I think about those kind of moments and that. Shoe repair, dude, all these talents. I wouldn't. That is the thing. And there was actually a book I saw one of the former editors of Metal Hammer share years ago, and he says like this is a must-own book, and it was like a survival guide. This is it. It's Bushcraft 101. Let me dig this up. It's all gone very quiet, hasn't it? With let me put this here. Can we get it on the screen? Here we go. This was the book. Bushcraft 101, a field guide to the art of wilderness survival. He was like, this is a must read for everyone. And I should get this. I've got so many books I need to read. Wow, it's only £9. Let's have a look here. The ultimate resource for experiencing the backcountry. Just going to get some background music as I go through this. Written by survivalist expert Dave Canterbury. Bushcraft 101 gets you ready for your next backcountry trip with advice on making the most of your time outdoors based on the 5 C's of survivability, which I wouldn't have been able to name any of these. Cutting tools, covering, combustion devices, containers, and cordages. This valuable guide offers only the most important survival skills to help you craft resources from your surroundings and truly experience the beauty and thrill of the wilderness. Inside, you'll discover detailed information on choosing the right items for your kit, manufacturing needed tools and supplies, collecting and cooking food, protecting yourself from the elements. With Canterbury's guidance, you'll not only prepare yourself for any climate and situation, you'll also learn how to use the art of bushcraft to reconnect with nature in ways you've never imagined. Yeah, I gotta check this out. Maybe I'll reach out to him and see if I can get him on the show. That'd be cool, right? Yeah. Would have to learn a lot about that. Yeah, we're taking this for granted, but it's good to have someone to exchange a few messages on the internet now and then. That's my vitamin G for today. Oh, I appreciate that, Headbite. Yeah, let's finish the show with vitamin G. As we do every week, we always end the show with vitamin G, where we take a moment to think about something you are grateful for in life. It could be a person, could be a thing, experience, and you don't have to share it. Just thinking about it can do a lot for your mental health and well-being. I actually wanted to clip up my vitamin G from last week, where I went off on one about always tell people you love them, and it all came out pretty fluid. So yeah, I definitely want to clip it for this week. I'm grateful for the rain. That's what it's got to be. When it started raining, and it wasn't the horrible rain where it rains, then the sun comes out and then it's humid. It really cleared the air. Water, rain, cool weather. Incredibly grateful for it. Chris says, I'd have named that book No More Beating Around the Bush. Very good. Yeah, what's cordages? I would need to look up. Gamertag says, I made all that up, but these are the real jobs. Newspaper boy, magazine packer, cold calling, marketing, pizza maker, program testing, junior surveyor, junior electrician, track geometry engineer. That's awesome, man. Yeah, actually, the jobs I've had are pretty random. I've been a hotel host, so I've worked in restaurants, cleaning rooms. I've worked as a teacher. I've worked as a labourer doing construction. I've worked as a seller of carpets and floor coverings. I've been a delivery driver's helper. So like I haven't driven the vans, but I was helping load electronics into homes upstairs and sofas and all sorts. And then I've worked in marketing in between that and all the YouTube stuff for different things. It's a good round amount, GT, you got there. And I definitely think having that broad range can definitely help you in so many ways. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm really glad we connected, dude. And sorry, I was reading earlier about how it took you a long time to work on that video. I can tell, man. Worked really good. And it's always hard when you're segmenting. I think you did it month by month, didn't you? And then you had your favourite of the month. It was really good. Yeah. I mean, most people are, but if you haven't already, do subscribe to Gamertag. Vitamin G from Cali says, local support groups, autism and LGBTQIA+. I wonder if I could remember all that next time without reading it. Support groups. A shout out to the people running them as they do a sterling job. Mojo says, my Vitamin G, all the things we have in this modern life to make life fun and easier and more livable. Clem Fandango says, Vitamin G, I'm very grateful for my Ninja Creamy. It's the appliance I didn't know I needed. Do I need to ask what that is? Ninja Creamy. What is that? By the way, I did have a zoom in thing on here that I created, but I haven't tied it to any. Oh, does it fades to it though, right? It fades? Yeah, you don't want the fade. You want it to like cut directly to it. Yeah. I'll have to work that out. Dude, when was that Ghost of Tabor event? God, seems like yesterday. I need to get back into Ghost of Tabor. I really enjoyed it, but I was getting absolutely destroyed. Chaos says, I'm grateful for butter. I mean, butter's great, but let me tell you something. If I ever make sandwiches, I never have butter in it. Does that make me a monster? Headbite says, butter is high on my list too. Looper says, yo! Am I getting Donkey Kong tomorrow? No, I saw he got a 10 on IGN. I don't have a Switch 2. I was close. I was close to getting the original Switch, but the reason I didn't get a Switch was because I decided instead to invest in something called VR, virtual reality. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's pretty good. Check it out. But yeah, no, virtual reality. PSVR was what I got instead of a Switch. And Switch 2, I'm really tempted, but I'm like, to be honest, I'd probably get a PlayStation Portal instead. I don't need another console, but yeah. I need to look at the reviews though. I'm curious to see. Like, I love what Nintendo does. And the day that Nintendo does a VR headset and brings out Pokemon VR, game over. I'm getting it. I'm all in. Chris says, I'm grateful for the internet. How fitting. How fitting with this. I'm not on OBS. I'm not on OBS. I am on Ecamm. I use Ecamm for the Mac. Yeah, extreme close-up. Extreme close-up. But yeah, there'll be settings there for it. I know I'm one of the few streamers that uses Ecamm. Ecamm's used a lot by churchgoers, people that do church streams or like webinars. But this isn't free. This costs a couple of few hundred a year on it. But I've always loved Ecamm, and I love the community that runs it and they're always optimizing it. It's really, really good. Canik says, I'm grateful to have found a Mr. Blobby costume so I can scare Myles when he opens the tank lid. Oh my goodness. Let's not think about that. No, Switch 2. Unsubscribe. I'm grateful for inheritance. The internet. I'm grateful I inherited the internet. IGN is full of shit, so it's not a 10 out of 10. I know that the reviews are funny. I do like, though, something that IGN has started doing in their reviews is they'll do a game review and then at the end of the review, they'll do an interview with the person that did the review. And it adds all this extra context, and I find that incredibly useful. Because it's like, okay, let's find out about this person. What is it that they like? Because I think a good review, and like you do this well, GT, Brian does it well on Without Parole, and I try and do it with my Let's Plays, is a good review is contextualized. And what I mean by that is you could give something a bad review, and there's someone that will watch that review, and because of the context you've given, will go, okay, that's really helpful. I know why you've given it a bad review. However, for someone like me, I know that this game is for me, and they'll be able to check it out, as opposed to being given like definitive things. It's the way of phrasing it of like this, who is this? Who is this for? If you like this, you'll like this. If you don't, you don't like this. Our reviews that are a lot more clear cut, I find a bit more difficult. So like context is always important. Okay, everyone. Look, we are 10 past the hour, so we are going to wrap it up there. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone for tuning in. This was a really, really cool chat. Yeah, I am going to be looking into future topics for the show. Lots of ideas coming up. And the fact that I have a meeting less day on a Wednesday means I have more time to prepare for this, which is good. But yeah, really appreciate everything. Massive thanks right from the top for the becoming of a member. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. Helps me out a lot. And if you are watching this on replay, do leave me comments below with your thoughts on this topic. If the internet vanished tomorrow and you woke up, what's the first thing you do? And how would it impact your life? What would be the positives that would come from it? And obviously, more commonly, what do you think the negatives would be from it? The internet. When moving house, you always think about the fundamentals. Have we got gas, electricity, heating? Have we got water? Internet is in that category now, in my opinion. Like, that is a human right in that sense, because it is just so fundamental to everything we do as societies. But yeah, I will also link in the description the short film. I think I'll do that as well, which was called Lost Memories, and it was brought by Francois. I can't even find the name of it. Francois Ferracci. That was it. But anyway, that's enough from me. It's time for your final thoughts. So with all that said, have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll try and do some PSVR 2 Let's Plays before the week is out. And I will see you next time. So love, respect, empathy, and adios to next time. Bye-bye.
Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye, big sky. Far away, but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye, big sky. Far away, but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye, big sky. Far away, but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Okay. I think I can fix this now. It's really, look at that. So you could, whoa. Let's have a look. Yeah. Lovely. Looks good. Just need to I do actually want to get this, like replace this, and have a flat to VR. I think that'd be great. I still need to work out what to do with this. I got this from the theatre when I went to see Alien Romulus. It's such a great... Oh, look how dusty it is. Excuse the dust, all my dead skin. But I don't know what to do with it. Can't believe that was almost a year ago. Anyway, I'll stop rambling to myself. I need to get back on with some work. But massive thank you for everyone tuning in. Take good care of yourselves. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hit the like button. Thank you. I know. Terrible. I need to clean up in here for sure. I do actually want to clean all this up and work out what I'm going to do with it, because at the moment it is a complete mess. But I have a lot of cute things on here. A lot of cute things. But yeah, I'll work it out. Have a good one. Bye bye.